Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm just demonstrating a method of using a cheap FPV camera which you can mount on virtually anything. In this case I've decided I would have a go at making my WL Toys 12428 buggy a FPV vehicle, and the all-in-one unit I chose was the Eachine EF01, which is 40 channel if I remember rightly, and runs off a single cell LiPo. It's anything from I think 3.5 volts up to 5 volts, so the single cell LiPo is spot on for this sort of job. The other thing I've got, obviously you need to go with it, is the headset, the goggles, and I treated myself to a Furibee VR01 headset, which is relatively expensive. I think they're about £35, something like that. Very good quality, and again 40 channels, but don't expect something like a Fat Shark. They're not up to that standard, obviously, and the other downside of them is there's no way of recording the video. There's no DV facility in it, but as I was just playing around with FPV, I thought it worth a try. Right, so there you can see it mounted on the machine. What I'll do now is take it off and show you the bits and pieces I've put together to make the unit. The EF01 camera, well, all-in-one unit, it's camera and transmitter all in one, is mounted on this unit here. That is actually a tray with a 1/4 inch thread from my Mobius cameras. I have a couple of Mobius cameras that I use for onboard footage. This is on a separate video on here on my channel, and all it is, I've got a single 1/4 inch by 20 bolt coming up through the bonnet. I just drilled a single hole in the bonnet there and mounted it on that. There's a large washer underneath to stiffen everything up because it's only a thin bit of plastic that it's mounted to, but it is relatively sound. There's not a lot of movement there. So that's how it's mounted to the car, and if we move that out of the way, I'll show you the camera unit itself, which is this. There we are. It's just a small unit. All the gubbins is in there, goes up to a right-handed polarized antenna, and it comes with a single lead, plugs into the back of the unit there, and then just has 2 bare ends. So what I did was solder on a lead with a LOSI connector, a female LOSI connector, to match the male LOSI connector on the battery. The battery is a very common one. It's the sort of thing you get on SEMA X5s and a whole range of things. Various Hubsands use them. The only thing to watch is just to make sure some have the wires the other way around, whereas you just make sure that the black does go to the black and the red to the red, obviously. Otherwise you tend to end up frying circuit boards and things. It cost me round about, let me see now, somewhere in the region of £25–26, something like that. So it's relatively inexpensive. That, to mount it onto the machine, if I bring the truck back in, I just used 2 bits of foam, one at the front just to jack it up a bit, that on the top, and then sit the battery on top of that. The camera is connected to the battery, incidentally, just with a piece of 2-sided tape. It's as simple as that. Then we get really high tech, and the battery is held onto the tray with a couple of rubber bands. And that's it. Very simple, very straightforward, and surprisingly effective. So I thoroughly recommend anybody who is just a bit handy. They say it only needs 2 solder joints, that's all. And the rest of it is very straightforward and works surprisingly well. So
I'll pack this lot up now, put it in the car and go out and do some FPV bashing. Cheerio for now.